Hello, welcome back to OmniFoot TV. This is Joe Stormer speaking. Tonight's video is about my first impressions of Maurizio Pochettino as Chelsea manager. Now, excuse the overall exhaustion that is visible, clearly visible on my face, but the excitement has been easily capable of trumping that exhaustion and wrestling it into submission. Into the topic we go. I have had to watch some excruciating press conferences as a Chelsea fan this past season, be it in terms of Graham Potter, who completely killed me, or I'm not really going to enter Bruno Saltor in this conversation because he didn't really do much and he isn't really a manager. So, but still, like the press conference, the whole idea that we had to deal with that too was pretty painful. And then we had Lampard. Oh well. Anyways, on from that. The fact that we finally have a manager who is capable of speaking his mind in a charismatic manner with confidence, with a level of certainty that we have been clamoring for and begging for over a season now. It seems as though it's been over a season. I can't really remember how far into a year it's been since Tuchel's sacking. It feels like it's been 2 or 3 years, to be fair. What we've had to endure as Chelsea fans, and I'm making this video particularly as a Chelsea fan. I can't necessarily put my bias aside, although I will for certain parts in regards to either way, like how I look at this, because I'm presenting my thoughts on this matter as a Chelsea fan, sure, but at the same time, objectively speaking, any manager who is trying to push himself towards the upper echelon of European football, and yes, we are a part of that upper echelon now, whether anyone likes it or not, at least in a modern sense, every kind of manager that should fit that description or be a part of that conversation must present themselves with a level of certainty and confidence similar to that which Maurizio Pochettino has presented himself as Chelsea manager in the first couple of days. And that's, it's interesting because it seems as though he's been at the club for a long time and he's only been there for a couple of days. It's amazing to me. The man has presented himself in a way that I have been dreaming to see a Chelsea manager just walk through the doors and say the words that we've all wanted to hear. Everything in regards to trusting the process or the idea of there being a process, blah, 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 comme ça. Anyways, the idea of there being a process, the concept of achieving results early into your tenure, and what that means at Chelsea, and how success is measured at Chelsea. He knew exactly how to approach every single question that was posed to him. And in regards to understanding how he needs people who aren't just followers, he needs leaders in that locker room. He needs people to realize, or the players in particular, to realize that they are going to die for the badge, that they will kill for the club, that they will play their socks off. There is a level of passion, there is a level of conviction that I have not seen in many managers, or that I haven't seen in many Chelsea managers in general, that I see in Poch. And I've seen most of them throughout the modern era. Poch has made such a great impression on all of us Chelsea fans. It's a little it seems a little too good to be true, excuse me. And at the same time, in terms of first impressions, and again, I highlight first impressions, this is right up there. And I even heard Eunice talk about this, Chelsea YouTuber, if you guys are familiar with him. I like to watch his content. He's a really sweet guy. Anyways, the impression he gave us as Chelsea fans mirrors those of the impression we got from Tuchel, those of Tuchel and those of Mourinho. I said what I said. The first impression, was that impressive. The fact of the matter is that his presence at the club, and this was my first thought, as soon as I had seen him sitting in the chair, in the Chelsea training kit, and going about presenting himself in his very first interview, the first sentence that came to my mind was that things are finally aligning for the better. There is a certain kind of energy that you feel when you know that the person who has just walked in through the door is about to shift everything in your presence and in the presence of everyone else, with God and the audience as their witness. And that may sound very dramatic, but again, the energy itself that presented itself to us, that Pochettino carried himself through while speaking, it spoke more than it expressed more than his words ever could. This feels like a juxtaposition in regards to the nightmare that we were going through last season with our managers. Feeling like we had to watch Graham Potter constantly try and push mentally to be of that caliber and see him never make it. And then we have Poch, and on the first day, he's there. He's up there. He's on that, he's on the white horse. It seems as though he's our knight in shining armor, although it's not really, he's not really in shining armor because his armor's been battle tested for seasons. He's managed Spurs, for Christ's sake. What more do you want from the man? So, no disrespect to Tottenham, despite the fact that I do hate them as a Chelsea fan, but seriously. Anyways, I digress. Poch, to me, on an objective level, seems to be the right man for the job. It seems as though everything behind the scenes is actually falling into place. You don't get that kind of energy from someone who walks in unless you know that the people behind him are making the kind of space or room that he requires in order to succeed, especially at such a high level. And you can tell that the bricks are being laid out, that the domino effect has brought us to this point in time as Chelsea fans. And for once, it seems as though the chaos is shifting. It seems as though order is being restored. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say that he is destined or meant for this club. I'm not going to say that he's... excuse me, the camera started moving. I'm not going to say that he is... Or I'm not going to, let me just say it. Let me just put it this way so I don't lose my train of thought again. I'm not going to consider him a Chelsea success until I see him on the touchline from the very first game and beyond. I'm not going to come up here and tell you guys that we're going to win the Premier League, that we're going to win the FA Cup, the EFL Cup, the Champions League again, the Europa League, God knows what. But I am going to say this, and I do believe it, and something inside me is pushing me to utter these words. I did hear other Chelsea fans say them, so I'm not the first one to. Mind you, don't pin this on me if it does happen, if or when in particular, but we will win trophies with Poch. The man is bringing with him a winning mentality. And that is going to trickle down onto his players. That is, if it doesn't completely soak them entirely. I'd like to think that he knows exactly what he means when he says that he's here to make the players feel like they're at home in terms of being at Covenant training, that the togetherness needs to be present in regards to how the players relate to and interact with each other. And those weren't his particular or specific words. This is what I'm, saying in regards to what he said, or trying to explain what he said in my own way. But it rings true because he seems to be prepared to remedy the causes of, the death of the passion that was within these players, the death of the love that they had for the game. Because in all seriousness, that's what happened. They fell out of love with the game. You don't do what we did last season without completely being oblivious or being completely disillusioned in regards to the sport that you partake in or in regards to what you love. That was horrible, horrible to watch. It was a nightmare. I have never really shut down as a Chelsea fan. quite like that in my entire life. I don't remember a point in time where I ever didn't want to watch us play until last season happened. I'm having a lot of trouble making sense right now because the more I think about last season, the more I malfunction. I really hope I never have to go through that again. I really hope no one has to go through that again. Not even Tottenham. And I hate them. But back to the topic at hand again. I expect, or I am excited, and I look forward to great things. I think I should. I think every Chelsea fan should. This is the best time possible to consider being optimistic. And I think that we should take advantage of that as best as we can and head into the new season completely renewed because we've let go of so much of all these old players, of systems that didn't work, of mistakes that were made by the hierarchy that they're seemingly working to, atone for. And it seems as though they're learning from everything they've done. So far, at least. So far. Because that's another important point here. We need to see this through. We still need to maintain ourselves and remain grounded as Chelsea supporters. And we need the owners to keep moving the way they're moving. We need to hope again, man. We need to be optimistic again. And it's now or never, really, because the league keeps changing, football keeps shifting, things keep moving in a very strange direction. And I don't want us to fall by the wayside. I don't want us to fall back. We got to pick up the pace here. And I'm ready to see that happen. I believe we can do that, and I'm excited about it. And that's all I have to say. Poch, do your thing, man. I trust you. I haven't given this kind of trust to a manager again, it seems as though it was 2-3 years ago, but Tuchel was only sacked close to a year ago. And still, he does, Tuchel is a part of a very small bracket of legendary Chelsea managers. So, Tuchel, Mourinho, the kind of trust I'm giving Poch is teetering towards the kind that I gave those two. And I hope it pays off. And that's all I have to say on the matter. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. Please like the video if you have. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, because I've realized that 96% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So what are you guys waiting for? Just click the button already. And click the bell notification as well, because I post content on a daily basis. Once again, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below as well. If you're neutrals, if you're Chelsea fans, if you're... You know what? I don't want to listen to Spurs fans, but if you are a Spurs fan and you have something to say that is more so bordering on the respectful, we can taunt each other all we want, right? But the fact that you guys let this man go still boggles my mind. I feel sorry for you guys, seriously. And I know I'm probably going to get it for the amount of poking I'm doing here. But then again, it is what it is. Anyways, thanks again for tuning in, guys. And I will see you next time the whistle blows. Cheers.